In this presentation, we explore the relationship between nature and energy and try to make sense of the need to protect the environment. Human existence is solely dependent on nature, and access to affordable resources underpins development. Is imperative. So all resource consumption, including energy, is linked to the environment. So ecosystems have value because they literally maintain life on Earth. We liken nature to a petrol tank of a car. When we use any function on a car, whether we press the horn, lock the doors, ignite the engine, or turn on the wipers, all the energy to support this function starts from the engine. You might argue that I was playing music when the engine was off and was only using the battery, but the battery is only a warehouse. It does not generate energy. As soon as you switch on the engine, the energy that was used while the engine was off will be immediately topped up, replaced. So like the tank, nature supports each and every function on Earth. Whatever we do, whatever we consume, the buck stops at that tank. Now that brings us to the concept of what are called ecosystem services. These are attributes of nature that enable humans to derive services. These services are grouped in 4 broad categories. There is a supporting service which supports the processes such as nutrient cycles and oxygen production. Then there is a provisioning which supports processes such as production of food and water, among others. Then there is the regulation, which deals with the climate control, disease control, and predation. Predation is the process by which predators control population of the prey. This process is as important to the prey as it is to the predator and beyond. For example, lions eat antelopes. If lions stopped eating antelopes, the antelopes would grow in such large numbers that the grass would not be sufficient for their survival. Snakes control populations of rats. The same thing would happen, but in this case, humans would also be caught up, because if rat populations became so large, it would mean that the potato fields would be invaded and routed until nothing remains. So that is a glimpse of how important nature is to our survival, but just a glimpse. There is the cultural element or spiritual element, attribute of nature. It also includes things like holy sites, plants, and herbal trees for our treatment. So when people mount campaigns to protect the environment, it does not come out of benevolence that we are good people and nature deserves to be protected. we are actually talking about our very survival. No, the planet does not need saving. The planet existed without the environment and ecosystems for billions of years, and somehow in the process of time it generated the ecosystems. If for some reason we managed to help to destroy the ecosystems and nothing remained, the planet would remain just like before, and most probably it would be able to regenerate itself and create a new and different type of ecosystems with different life forms. So the process is for our own survival. Simply put, if the environment dies, we too die, and the earth will stay. Certain schools of thought attempt to evaluate nature's attributes in terms of monetary value. But the reality is that we know so little, particularly about the causal relationship between individual components of nature, that the only safe way to assume is to assume that we need nature in its entirety as is without disturbing it or minimizing any disturbances. One of the most important functions of the ecosystem is primary creation of food by agents called autotrophs. The most prominent of these autotrophs is the photoautotroph, which traps the sun's energy as a catalyst to make carbohydrates. These forms of food forms the primary food for all living organisms. The food and energy is then transferred to different layers of nature up the pyramid. This is the same energy that millions of years ago was in animal remains and plants and trapped underneath to form the fossil fuels we use today. When we use nature sensibly, sustainably, nature has the capacity to regenerate itself. But when we overconsume, we compromise those eco services and we risk the extinction of species, including our very own. Thank you.